Alright folks, we're just going to be showing off a little bit of OpenAI ChatGPT API endpoint interaction with a CSV data frame. The CSV contains some annual financial info for a bunch of stocks. Let's just take a quick peek. So you can see I've got like net income loss, so it's the profit. I've got, a bunch of stuff about the whatever company it is, and then values for every year's profit or loss. So you can see the years up here. So that's all real good. Anyways, that's our data set. So let's close that up. Let's just take a walk through what we're doing here. We're going to be using pandas to organize our data frame. Datetime to do some timing. We're going to be calling in our variables there, and we're going to be using the OpenAI API endpoint. So we're just loading up our API key right here. And if you don't know how to do that, I don't know, leave me some messages and maybe I'll do a video or something. This just tells pandas to read the data frame, the CSV that we just looked at. These are just a few filters. Like here, I was like, let's only look at stuff that reported something last year, So it's saying if it has NA in 2023, get rid of it. Because we're dealing with the OpenAI API, and that's has rate limits on it. This filter just gives us the top 500 rows. As you can see, each company has the potential to have more than one row. The reason for that is because it will also list the index that every company is in. So if it appears in more than one index, then it'll have more than one record. So just bear that in mind. Now I print out whatever we're filtered down to a string and grab the length, and we'll do that in a sec. The reason I do that is to keep track of the tokens. Now, string characters and tokens, it's not a one-to-one relationship at all. I've heard that it's anywhere from a 5-to-1 to a 2-to-1 relationship. So 2 characters to a token to 5 characters to a token. I don't really know. I haven't done too much experimenting, but I'm keeping track so that in the long run I'll have some experience with that metric, and I'll be able to work with it in a more effective fashion. Anyways, I've turned the CSV into JSON data. It originally actually was CSV. I turned it into a data frame, and then now I'm turning it into JSON data. Apparently, most sources on the internet seem to say that it's better to feed the OpenAI API CSV or JSON data, so I'm going with JSON data. Here's my timer. This is just setting up the prompt. Now this is the model that we'll be using, GPT-4o mini. I believe that they do have a more current version, but you'll see when we start to look at the character lengths why I've chosen ChatGPT 4o mini. It has a token limit of 250,000. ChatGPT just plain 4o has a token limit of 30,000. So that's why we're doing that. Here's a couple prompts that we're going to be looking. So I'm basically telling the GPT that it's a financial analyst and that it doesn't make up facts. In other words, that don't hallucinate, right? I'm giving it the data frame right here. See, it's in the JSON data. And then I ask it questions. So let's be like, give me a list of companies that have demonstrated rapid decline in profitability in, come on, 2023. Let's see what we get, folks. Anyways, just putting it all together. And of course, this happens afterwards, right? So this is after the GPT does its stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this. And let's see what we get. So let's look at what those numbers are first. So the initial data frame was 10,000 rows long. Getting rid of NANs in 2023 got us down to 7,000 rows. I cut it down to just the top 500 rows, and those 500 rows, when converted to a string, give us roughly 223,000 kilometers or characters, right? So let's see what we got. They have rapid. We have to look. Let's see what to look for those with a significant decrease in net income compared to the here are the companies from. Let's just zoom this up a bit. Here from decline in income. Okay, Amazon declined. Okay. I don't know how this makes sense. Let's look it up actually, because Amazon should be pretty quick to look up. So let's see what Amazon had. Okay, yeah, so Amazon. Okay, so this, folks, is an example where oh wait, this is weird. Nvidia. They didn't lose. No way. 4 billion. No, this. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there's something wrong with this. See, it doesn't know what it's doing. It's making stuff up. It didn't understand the question, folks. You see, a rapid decline in profitability. Significant decrease in net income compared to the previous year. And yet it was unable to do the calculation. So let's try correcting that prompt. Give me a list of company Iraq in 2023. You must subtract 2023, the 2023 value from the 2022 value to determine which have lost the most. There, a little bit of explicitness. But before we move on, let's just look at the timing that it took to produce these invalid results. $33 seconds. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see if Walmart comes up here. Walmart. Why did we have like 5 entries for Walmart? At least the numbers are coming up correct. That's very good. And bear in mind, folks, that this is for ChatGPT 4.0 mini. So that is a lighter weight version than the 4.0. Okay, so in 34 seconds, let's see if we got something better. Again, it doesn't seem able to recognize declines. Now this I understand because it's doing like a double negative, right? But this is not, it's not computing properly. Maybe my instructions were not correct. Subtract the 2022 value from the 2023 value. Let's just see how it interprets this. And we'll have to give it another 30 seconds, so let's go and see what else we can find. Johnson & Johnson. Where's Johnson & Johnson? Here we go. Let's make sure we've got the right numbers. 15 for, yeah. No. Wait. Which one are we looking at? Yeah, 351. So, yeah, we've got the right numbers there. Did we get any action? Looks like we did. How long did this take? 35 seconds, folks. All right. Woo. Okay. See, now we're talking. See, Moderna, Royal Caribbean, Carnival. I mean, maybe these aren't the biggest losers, but... And certainly, these guys didn't lose more year over year than, say, for example, Moderna. Right? This is an example of what we're looking for, not these other ones. So you can see that these GPTs are delicate, but I can tell you that the more expensive ones are better. But they're just more expensive, and sometimes you hit the rate limit. Ooh, this was an interesting story, folks. 3M. If you're into stocks more than you are the GPT stuff, or if you're into both, check this out, because 3M is an interesting story. They I think they had some lawsuits or something, and so like they reported so I think, I don't know if it was several quarters, but they reported losses, folks, and 3M is a juggernaut, so that smelled like an opportunity. I didn't personally act on it, but okay, this guy's reporting a profit increase. Good for Warren Buffett, I guess. But that's not what we asked for, right? AIG. Ooh, if you like insurance companies, there's something to investigate, people. Okay, well, we saw that in action. Let's take a look at this other question that I have lined up. So give me a list of companies that have demonstrated wait, which one? Yeah, okay, so we're doing the orange. Sorry, folks. I'm getting a little tired. Give me a list of companies that have demonstrated the fastest growth in recent years. Make sure you show the calculated growth rates. Okay? So that's going to be interesting. Let's see what it says. Now, just for a little bit of context, each one of these searches costs me about 1 cent in terms of ChatGPT fees with GPT-4o mini. Now, like I was saying, and I'll show you guys after, we'll do one with just the 4o, but I kept running up on rate limits, and so that's not productive, and it's also more expensive. So, you know, if you're going to be using this stuff, you really have to kind of test out which model's going to work for you, and basically use the one that you can get like the least expensive one that you can get. You know, just like any other business activity, you want to find the model that is the cheapest and adds the most value. So basically has the widest parameters and the loosest rate limits and cheapest costs. So after 1 minute, let's see what we got. Now I'm not going to go through and verify these calculations, but if you guys do and you find anything weird, let me know, okay? Like, throw it down there in those comments. What was all that yellow? Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Let's check this out. Okay, so to determine the companies, we shall calculate the CAGR. Okay. All this stuff sounds good, folks. All right. Ending values that for the most recent year, for the earliest year in the selected period, ending periods. Okay, so it looks like they're doing 3 years or something. Okay, so Apple's been kind of stagnant, I guess, but I mean, they're still making $100 billion a year, so who cares? Microsoft has a CAGR of 8.6%, Nvidia 15.5%. Oh, come on. Sorry, folks. Yeah, Alphabet at, they're reporting a slight decrease. Now again, I'm not sure about these numbers, but yeah, that looks about right. Amazon, slight decrease at negative 4% over that period. Tesla, of course, they're up. Meta, stagnant. Nvidia, up. It's funny how Nvidia shows up twice. And it's also funny how they have the exact same growth rate as Tesla. JP Morgan, stagnant. Visa, up 8.5%. Again, CAGR over 3 years. It's interesting how it found these to be the fastest growth rate companies. Anyways, let's try an experiment here where we go to the regular 4o. Okay, so you see how we got the error? Yeah, so what happened was that I exceeded my rate limit. See, rate limit error. Request too large for GPT-4o. So the 223,000 tokens that I had ended up being 68,785 tokens. So that means that we've got a relationship of, just give me a sec here, 68,785. So that's about 3.25 characters per token. So that lines up with previous estimates. So for the 4.040 mini, I probably could have tripled my number of rows. Anyways, let's just keep looking at this. So you can see that the limit is 30, right? So I requested double what the limit is. But let's just see what they say. If I knock this down to 200, from 500 to 200, let's just see what style of a response is different, you know. So again, we've got 88,000 strings now in the data frame that we're passing. Sorry, characters, 88,000 characters. So if we divide that by 3.25, like we saw, that gives us 27,000 tokens. So hopefully we'll be flying just under the radar. Just under the radar. Yeah, so like I said, these searches are costing me in the range of about a cent each. Now, they're not overly quality in their outcomes, in their outputs, but I also haven't spent a whole lot of time prompt engineering, right? So this took about 45 seconds. Let's see what we got. Wow, we got 40 this time. We got a whole real list, and we gave them way less rows. Okay, folks, you guys notice that? That's pretty interesting. In fact, okay, here we go. To determine the CAGR, okay, 2020 to 2023. Methodology, okay. What do we got? Apple, over 4 years, 18.8 CAGR. Microsoft, over 4 years, 17.4. NVIDIA, over 4 years, 89.9. I think I'm going to check that math real quick, folks. Just give me a sec. Let's see. So that's 29.76 divided by 4.332 equals 6.87 to the exponent of 0.25. Ah, come on. 6.87 to the exponent of 0. Why? Oh, man. Okay, it wasn't on scientific, folks. Sorry about that. 6.87 to the exponent of 0.25. Yeah, I don't know if all this stuff is working out quite right, folks, but let's just keep going. 29.76 divided by 4.332. Okay, yeah, so that's that. What do I have to do? Minus 1? Is that it? Divided by 0.25. I don't know, folks. I'm not getting 89.9, but I'm also pretty sleepy. So here, you know, we've got these values, but these values seem right, and we can double check that right now, by looking right here. Right here. See, NVIDIA. And we've got, what do we have? We've got 29.76, 1, 2, 3, 43.32. Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. I'm so sleepy. By this exponent of 0.333. Yeah, that's right. So this is pretty close on. I was rounding, so yeah, these numbers are right, folks. Alphabet 22, Amazon 12, Meta 10, Tesla $1.50, Morgan 20, Walmart 5, Visa. Anyways, you guys get the idea. Johnson & Johnson at 34% CAGR. Costco at 17% CAGR. Holy jeez, folks. Merck ain't doing so grand. Chevron has a... Nah. Okay, AMD ain't doing so grand. Netflix is crazy. Let's see what we have at the very bottom. Nothing. No comments. 45 seconds, folks. Anyways, there you have it. Chat GPT API endpoint running financial analysis on annual net income loss data. Thank you very much for tuning in.